What if you could grow old and then become young again? Not in a movie, not in science fiction, but in the real ocean. There is a tiny creature that can do something that sounds almost impossible, can reverse its own life cycle, and it's known as the immortal jellyfish. But here's the strange part. It doesn't actually live forever. So why do scientists call it immortal? To understand that, we need to look at how most animals age. A typical animal is born, it grows, it becomes an adult, and eventually its body begins to decline. There is no reset button. But the immortal jellyfish has something incredibly unusual. When this tiny jellyfish is injured, starving, or under extreme stress, it can begin a remarkable transformation. Instead of continuing toward death, can go backward. Its adult body transforms back into an earlier stage of its life. Imagine if an elderly human could suddenly become a child again, and then grow into an adult all over again. That's roughly the idea. The jellyfish can transform its adult form into a structure called a polyp. From there, the polyp can eventually produce new jellyfish. And this isn't simply healing a wound. It's a complete reversal of its life cycle. One of the most fascinating parts is a process called transdifferentiation. Certain cells can change from one specialized cell type into another. In other words, the animal can essentially reorganize its own body. It's like taking a finished machine and turning its parts back into raw materials, then building the machine again. And scientists are fascinated by this ability, because if we can understand how this tiny animal controls its cells, we may learn more about regeneration, cell development, and perhaps even the biology of aging. But before you start looking for one as a pet, there's an important catch. The immortal jellyfish isn't actually immortal. It can still be eaten by predators, can still become infected, and it can still die because of environmental conditions. Its nickname comes from something much more specific: its extraordinary ability to reverse its development under certain conditions, and potentially can repeat this process more than once. That's what makes it so strange. Most animals move through life in one direction: birth, growth, aging, death. But this tiny jellyfish has found a way to press something that looks surprisingly close to a biological reset button. And it's only a few millimeters in size. Something smaller than your fingernail may possess one of the strangest survival mechanisms ever discovered in nature. So the next time you think aging is something every living creature has to accept, remember the immortal jellyfish, because somewhere in the ocean, there's a tiny animal that can get older and then start its life cycle all over again.
Oh,